boy, cheers for joining me. Apologies in advance, I'm full of cold, but I'm going to steam through it anyway. My expectations for No Mercy are quite high, so let's see what they live up to. We open the show with The Miz versus Jason Jordan. The Misterons are obviously in tow, and the first thing I noticed is as I was trying to get into the match, because, I will give it a chance even though I'm not a massive fan of Jordan, Michael Cole had a bit of a rant, and he was just trying to get over how pure / talented / awesome Jason Jordan is, and trying to make us all focus on that rather than who his daddy is. But it just went off on one, nobody was calling anything that was going on in the match, and it just killed the atmosphere more than the crowd killed it by booing Jordan consistently throughout the match. Just as it looked like Jordan was about to close, the Misterons got involved, they distracted and hit him with a cheap shot, and the Miz capitalised and hit the skull-crushing finale for the win. Yet another one of WWE's catchy hashtags. This time we've got hashtag we've already spent all your money, so here's the next pay-per-views advert. Enjoy! This sadly leads us on to Bray Wyatt versus Finn Balor in a man versus man match, which I have pointed out in my go-home write-up for this. Bray's done nothing but say he's a god for the last however many years, so this was never man versus man to begin with. The whole thing just seems stretched out and pointless. But again, I do acknowledge its potential for fantastic theatrics and the ability to put on a great show, so I'll give it a chance. Finn's dropped the black get-up and he's got more calming colours on, like a light bluey sort of grey look. I give this a thumbs up because it's very different from his demon attire, which I said they need to differentiate between the two. Bray still jumps in before the bell, and the refs try and take Finn to the doctors in the back, but then Wyatt manages to easily goad him back into the ring. Now he doesn't have his face paint on. For some reason Finn Balor's scared of Bray Wyatt's spider walk, whereas at SummerSlam when he had the face paint on, he just no-sold it and that's what won him the match. But with this withstanding, Wyatt still couldn't get the job done, and regular, normal quality, human form, whatever you want to call him, Finn Balor, finishes Wyatt with a coup de grace. And this just leaves me scratching my head because I don't know what that's done really for Bray Wyatt. I don't think WWE are ever going to do anything for Bray Wyatt, are they? Really? They could give him a really interesting storyline, one of which he beats the human form of Finn Balor into some kind of submission so then he can control Finn, and therefore the demon. Let Bray gather himself up a nice little faction of weird creatures. He could obviously get Luke Harper and Eric Rowan back. But no, we'll just keep using them the same way, which is just doing the same thing as we do with the rest of the roster. We'll just occasionally dress this guy up with face paint and pretend dreadlocks. Brilliant. Oh, what are you doing, WWE? Not only did you upset me on Raw a couple of weeks ago by spoiling that Asuka's joining soon, but now you've, for fuck's sake, you've gone and given an actual time and date, and you've just completely taken the element of surprise out back and put a bullet between its eyes. And Braun versus Cesaro was a fantastic match. As we've all come to expect from Cesaro's matches, he does some kind of mental feat at some point. This wasn't anything to do with strength. He actually knocked a few teeth out, pissed blood everywhere, and still just ploughed through the match like an absolute beast. All four lads put everything they had into it, and it was a good match. And the finish saw Sheamus eat a knee from Seth Rollins and then dirty deeds from Dean, giving Dean and Seth time to sell a bit more merch before Dean inevitably stabs Seth in the face. And now we've got hashtag time to exploit sick kids. Fantastic effort, WWE. We move on to the women's fatal 5-way match now, and I can't complain about it at all. Despite not enjoying the build to it, the match itself was brilliant. Nia the Bitch Fister Jax managed to get Alexa Bliss and Sasha Banks over her shoulder, do a squat, and then flatten them both with a Samoan drop. And everyone else had the opportunity to look good in the match, even Emma, and I was pleasantly surprised with that. The match flowed well and had a frantic finish, and Bayley ate the pin from Alexa Bliss after Bliss hit a DDT. So well done lasses, that was a great showing, now just fuck off and bring me Asuka. Super highly anticipated match number 1 now. We find John Cena facing Roman Reigns. And I did wonder who was going to come out last with this, and Cena came out first, and I think just so he could stand in the middle of the ring, so he could hear the boo train. And he did, he loved it, he pissed himself while he was waiting for Roman to come out. And you could tell he was having loads of fun during the match. So the crowd were chanting that they both sucked, and Cena suggested that they leave. He started to leave and the crowd cheered, which gave Roman the opportunity to chase him and chuck him back in the ring. He certainly knows how to play a crowd. Like I predicted though, this was Reigns' chance to actually look good, because he's just like a sack of dog shit, gobbling off against Cena these last few weeks. Cena was going to hit Reigns with an AA off the announce table, through the other announce table, but Roman reversed it and speared him through it, but kind of DDT'd himself in the process, which did not look fucking fun. And in the end, 4 AAs couldn't beat Reigns. Cena got belted with 1 spear. That was it. 1, 2, 3. Roman buggered off and left Cena with the ring. Cena looked a bit sad, bowed and walked away. So I'm not sure if there's a bit more to it than he's just leaving to do a film, or he did look pretty upset with that. The joys of modern video gaming. We get the obligatory WWE 2K trailers that we see at this time of year, and I just, piss off. I'm not paying for an unfinished game 4 days earlier than it's already going to be unfinished and fucking shit. Be patient, wait for it to come out. Don't give people money for stuff that they haven't even finished. Idiots. We sneak backstage to see The Miz asking Kurt Angle if he can interview Roman Reigns on Miz TV on Raw. Kurt likes the idea and agrees to it, completely ignoring Miz's digs at his son. Penultimate match of the night sees the Cruiserweight Championship up for grabs between Neville and Enzo Amore. I was expecting this to be a little bit better than what we got. I didn't think they'd get given anything more than 5 minutes. They did, but they didn't make as much with it as I thought they could. They're both talented guys in the ring and they know what they're doing, despite Enzo's character being shit and just not enjoying him on the microphone for what seems like years now. And all that really happened was Enzo sold for just under 10 minutes. As he gets chucked to the outside, he grabs the belt and brings it in. The referee's distracted with taking that to its place. This causes enough of a distraction for Enzo to boot Neville in the bollocks and roll him up and beat him. I'm hoping that they can use Enzo to make 205 Live a little bit better, because there are some talented lads on there. But I'm still of the opinion that they shouldn't have split it off into its own show anyway and just distributed them throughout the roster. Let them compete for the Cruiserweight Championship when they want to, but they can still interact with bigger guys, so it's just not restricting them at all. I'm trying to be positive, I really am, but that last match between Brock and Braun Strowman, it was hyped so much and it just wasn't all that in a bag of chips as we expected. Strowman started off strong, he kept Brock down for a bit, and eventually Lesnar kept finding little gaps in his defence and throwing him about, and eventually started to wear down Strowman, got the key lock in there as well to tire his arm out a bit. But it just ended up being very similar to the Brock Lesnar-Samoa Joe match a couple of months ago. Braun kept trying to finish Brock would kick out or reverse, and then eventually just hit one F5 and it was done. Braun didn't look bad or anything, Brock obviously looked great, I just felt it was missing a bit of intensity or something. So yeah, there you have it, that was No Mercy. The hits of the night were obviously the tag team match and the women's match. If I had to pick one of the two, I would go with the women's Fatal 5-Way. Mostly because I feel the women's division's been at the butt of a lot of my criticism in the last couple of months. And if they're shit, they're shit, but if they're praiseworthy, I'll praise them, so they get the thumbs up for the night. And the shit bits of the night were, yeah, Lesnar versus Strowman, Cena versus Reigns. They weren't rubbish matches or anything, they were just a bit underwhelming considering how much they'd been hyped and they're meant to be WrestleMania caliber matches, but they're obviously not WrestleMania caliber matches because you couldn't wait till WrestleMania to hype and build them all year round. You booked it at the soonest opportunity that you had, and they didn't fall flat on the face, but they kind of tripped onto the hands and knees, so please don't try and sell them to me as being WrestleMania caliber matches from that one. And that's enough out of me for the time being. If you'd like to leave a comment, you can do so below, or find me on Twitter, @BluntDamage. As well as here on my YouTube channel, you can also find my other works on botchamania.com, where you can check out 10 years of Botchamania, obviously, the New Generation Project podcast series, Vinny's wrestling write-ups, and all of my nonsense including, putting it bluntly, the Raw rant, and my new piece, One Hit, One Shit. Lastly, if you like my theme music, the band are The Colour Fire. The track's called All These Ghosts, and they can be found at www.thecolourfire.com. Plus, the download links are in the description below. Cheers for watching, take it easy, and I'll see you next time.